In the hush of the Fogcliff understory, where filtered sunlight dapples mossy roots and time seems to slow, a glimmer of orange flickers low across the forest floor. You may hear a soft snort, or the whir of feathered limbs in motion. This is the parrig, Psittacochirus sylvaticus, a forager, a mystery, and one of the last of its kind. The parrig exhibits a striking mosaic of anatomical traits, combining morphological features typically associated with both avian and suid lineages. Its body is fully feathered and compact, with a streamlined thorax and strong pectoral muscles, consistent with volant species. Yet its craniofacial structure bears resemblance to that of a terrestrial mammal. The rostrum is particularly unique, a flexible beak-shaped snout composed of soft tissue, similar in texture to a pig's, but tapering to a semi-pointed tip. This structure appears to function both in tactile rooting and in limited prehensile manipulation. Plumage is predominantly yellow across the body, with orange patterning along the wings. The parrig is endemic to the Fogcliff bioregion and the adjacent slopes of the Elder Green mountain range, a stretch of temperate rainforest characterized by cooler temperatures and thick understory vegetation. Microhabitats preferred by parrigs include fern beds, mossy nurse logs, and areas near ephemeral creeks where invertebrate life is abundant. Their range is limited by elevation and proximity to human infrastructure, particularly logging roads, which fragment their travel corridors and expose nests to edge effects. Parrigs are diurnal generalist omnivores. They consume a wide variety of materials depending on availability: wild berries, ground fungi, insects, and decaying plant matter. Their foraging method involves both tactile rooting and selective plucking using their beak-like snout. Some individuals have been observed burying food caches beneath moss, returning several days later to retrieve partially fermented materials, possibly aiding digestion or microbial nutrient cycling. Though solitary while feeding, parrigs do not appear strongly territorial. In areas of abundance, loose foraging groups may form, with individuals communicating via soft churs and snorts. Though often solitary, parrots exhibit a subtle and complex social repertoire. Pair bonds may form during the breeding season, with shared foraging and grooming behaviours observed between mates. Siblings from the same brood sometimes maintain playful contact into early adulthood. Vocalizations include soft whistles and rapid snorts. Communication is also visual, involving tail flicks, wing fans, and upright postures used to de-escalate conflict. Breeding begins in early spring with aerial displays. Successful pairing select secluded areas as ground nesting sites. The interior is lined with sticks and moss. Each clutch contains 2 to 4 eggs. Both parents take part in incubation and chick rearing, delivering partially digested food in a paste-like form. At 6 weeks post-hatch, fledglings, known informally as flicks, leave the nest, downy and unsteady, but highly curious and quick to imitate parental behavior. By their second molt, flight becomes more stable. Haregs play an important ecological role as seed dispersers and fungal propagators. Their rooting behavior contributes to soil aeration and invertebrate cycling. They serve as prey for several regional predators, however, their populations are in quiet decline. Ongoing deforestation, road development, and invasive plant encroachment have reduced available nesting habitat and disrupted migratory subroutines. Though the species is protected under the Fogcliffe Wildlife Accord, enforcement is inconsistent. Current population models estimate a 14% decrease in regional sightings over the last decade. The parrot has appeared in human records since at least the 18th century. In 1703, a juvenile was gifted to Queen Aralinda of Veldra by Sylvan Reach envoys. A portrait of the Queen with the creature on her lap still hangs in the Glimmerston archive. Naturalists of the Enlightenment period documented parrots in illustrated field scrolls, including early anatomical drawings by Thaddeus Larkwright, known for his obsessive renderings of elusive fauna. In the early 20th century, parrots featured prominently in false taxidermy hoaxes, roadside curiosities, and postage stamp designs. Among the Sylvan Reach communities, the parrot is a creature of legend. Stories describe it as a guide or deceiver, depending on the phase of the moon. Under crescent moons, it is said to lead lost travelers to safety, its soft calls echoing just ahead. But during full moons, it may mislead wanderers deep into the mist, imitating voices, footsteps, or the sound of bells. Locals call this behavior the shimmer walk. Some tales speak of the moon dance, a gathering of parrots who spiral in slow, synchronized circles in clearings before dawn. No scientific observation has confirmed this behavior, but the reports continue. For decades, the parrot defied traditional classification. Some argued it was a marsupial. Others placed it with corvids or colugos. Genetic analysis has returned mixed results, showing traits of both avians and early mammalian lineages. One theory suggests the parrot represents a case of deep convergent evolution, an isolated offshoot shaped by rainforest pressure to evolve flight and rooting adaptations simultaneously. More fringe theories posit the parrot as a holdover from a pre-divergence era, a relic of an ancestral clade that predates the mammal-bird split. Though widely rejected, the idea continues to inspire academic debate, especially among speculative biologists. In the parrot, we glimpse a world unburdened by categories. Not just a creature, but a question, feathered and rooted in the soil of imagination. The parrot is not just a species. It is a question posed by the forest, one that asks, how much mystery are we willing to preserve in the world?